staging area to working directory to staging area, from staging area to local repository, and so on, right? Today we'll proceed with the next part of working with or else deleting the files, managing the files, and many other things. Okay, I believe you all can see the screen. Let's get started. I think everyone joined, right? There's a lot of confusion over the link. The link got changed and posted in the group. I have made a group with all the registered candidates, and the link is posted there, and the password also. Please don't share the password outside the group. Anyone need the password should reach me. All right, let's begin. So let's go to a repository. Some problem with the keyboard. Okay. Let's go to desktop. See here it's showing where are we. We are on the desktop. Now our folder is cd git demo, right? This is our folder. This is our local repository where we are managing our files, correct? So yes, now we are here and let's check the status. Hit status. You can see on the branch master, nothing to commit. Like it's all, everything, whatever there in the folder were added and committed. And also I believe you have gone through this Git architecture, which is there in the Google Drive, right? So now let's get into the next scenario. So yesterday we have seen git diff command and all. So yeah, till now we have created new files. Also we have worked on modifying the files. But how about deleting the file? Isn't it? What happens or how do you delete a file? So let us see. Just give me 1 second. So I'm having two files. Let's say I just want to delete one file. Let's suppose I don't want to put it in the staging area or local repository. How do we delete the file? Git rm the file. Let's say I just want to delete this file too. Okay, I don't want this file anymore. I'm deleting this git file too. So git rm file two. What it does, let's see. Or else let's say I'll delete file one. Okay, so if you see, yes, you don't have the file in the working directory. Also do git ls files. You don't have the file in the local repository also. File 1 is gone, right? Okay, fine. Now check the status. Git status, right? So you can see here changes to be committed means, like I said, whenever you make a change in a git repository, you have to commit those changes. Okay, whether the, like I said, changes, git works with respect to changes. The change might be creating a new file, the change might be modifying the file, the change might be deleting a file. Whatever it is, you have to add and commit. Okay, so now what we have to do, let's commit. Git commit. Some problem with the keyboard. 1 second. Git. Okay. Git commit -m file modified, or else file deleted actually, right? So yes. Now if you see ls, yes, file 1 is not there. Also check the status. Okay, it says working tree is clean. Git ls files, it's not there in local repository. So means git rm command, what it does, it deleted the file both from working directory and local repository. File is gone forever. Okay, so this is one way to delete a file. Or else let's take up another scenario. I just want to have one more file. I'm creating one more file. Okay, maybe from here let me create quickly. So new text document, let's say file 3. Okay, and let me add some line. Where are we? Actually, we are in the wrong directory. 1 minute. Go to desktop. Our folder is git demo. Yeah, only file 2 is there, right? That's what we have in our repository. So now new text file, which is file 3. Also, let me write something. New file added, or new file, let's say new file created. Okay. So done. This is now a new file. Also, let me add and comment, because I just want some file. I'm going to add this file. Git add file 3. Also, let me commit. We already know how to add and commit by now, right? So I'm just proceeding to git commit -m. Let's say file added. Okay. So done. I just want a committed file here. Just to execute deletion. Okay, file 3 is created. I mean, file 3 is also committed. So now let's suppose I want to delete, let's say I just want to delete this file 2. But I want to delete it only from local repository, not from everywhere. Only from local repository I want to delete it. Okay. So how to do that? Git rm cached file 3. Right? But you may be having a question, why should we delete only from local repository? Maybe because this file 2, let's use file 2, anything you can use. So I want to delete this only from local repository because this might be not a project file, means it might be some documentation, maybe it might be some personal notes I have taken to understand the project, or else it might be some log file or an executable file, or else it might be some email copy, right? Whatever it is, I just don't want to put it in the local repository, but still I want to keep it in this git demo folder only because it's a my project folder. Making sense? Yeah. So I just want to keep it in the working directory, but I don't want to keep it in the local repository. So git rm cached will do. So let's run the command. Git rm cached. So now let's see ls. See, the file is still there in the working directory, but git ls files, right? You don't have the file here. Do you see that? Yeah, you don't have the file here. It is deleted from local repository, but still it's there in the working directory. Now, if you see the status, what happens? See, it is saying changes to be committed. Like just before we understood, whenever you make a change, you need to add and commit. You need to commit the changes. So let me say, okay, git commit -m file deleted from local repository. Okay, so done. If you do ls, yes, you still have file 2, but in the local repository, obviously you will not have a file 2. Also, when you do git status, see, file 2 is not there. Do you see that? File 2, I mean, it was showing like untracked file, but why is this showing untracked file? We have deleted it, right? Why it is showing untracked? See, if you have understood the concepts thoroughly, yesterday's concepts, you can easily answer this question. My question is, why is it showing, okay, I have deleted file 2 from local repository, but why it is showing untracked? And when does we see this kind of message untracked? Anyone? Think and answer.
If the file is not added, then it will show as untracked.
Exactly.
If it's in the working directory,
yeah, please tell me.
if it's in the working directory, it will show as untracked. But I think here it's deleted, so it's showing the same message.
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
is
sure.
just working like a new file again. It's in the working directory. Do you see that? It's in the working directory. It's deleted only from local repository. See, git ls files means file 2 is not there. Means it is like a new file. If you have some file and if you didn't add to the staging area, it keep on popping up this message. Am I correct? It's an untracked file. Git know there is a file, but you need to add it so that Git will track it. Correct? So you need to add the file. Until then, it will be showing you the same way. Am I correct? So now, yeah,
Yes.
I have to add and commit, but I don't want to add and commit this file. Okay, I don't want to add and commit because, like I said, it's some documentation, it's some email copy. I just want to put it in Git and I don't want to track it, but still I want to keep it in the repos. I don't want to Git to track this way. Means whatever files in this directory, because this directory is local repository, isn't it? If you see .git is there, whichever folder having .git will be version controlled by Git. Any files in this folder will be version controlled, but I have to tell Git, please don't version control it. So is that possible? How can we tell Git to exclude certain files from version controlling? How to tell Git not to track this file? Yeah, that's where comes another concept
Git
called Git.
ignore.
Yes, that's where the concept of Git ignore comes in. Okay, so through Git ignore we can exclude certain files from getting tracked. Okay, so this is again very important concept. I'll tell you where we'll use it also in our projects. So first let us ignore this. I just want Git to ignore this. So what I can do, just create another file. Just create another file, give it a name as .gitignore. Touch command will create a file. Okay, first I'm creating a file by name .gitignore. In the here also you can see it's created. Here open with, it's okay. See, I am going to use an editor called Vim editor. Vim is an editor in Linux. Okay, Vim editor or VA editor, Nano editor, different editors are there in Linux. Okay, that's how you edit from the command line. Slowly you can learn. What you have to do, git ignore. Give the file name vim git ignore. Ignore. So the file will be opened this way. You have to go to the insert mode. At the bottom, see, you are seeing the file name here, right? Give escape I. See, you got into insert mode means you can type anything here. Here, put the file name, whichever you don't want to version control. I don't want to version control this. I want Git to ignore this. If you have multiple files, yes, you can put all those file names. Or else, let's say you have all the files with extension dot log. All dot log files should be ignored. Star dot log. Okay, that's how you have to do. So let's save this. Again, escape colon. See, at the bottom you are typing escape. Okay, again I'm doing escape colon WQ exclamatory. Means it will save the file and close it. A little practice is required. Okay, slowly you can practice it. So you have to put this file name in .gitignore. See, now if you
Do
see,
we have to also commit this git ignore file?
yes, you have to. You have to.
Oh, commit and add git ignore
Yes,
file.
yes.
Okay.
See, I have placed the file name, right? See, simply git status. See, file 2 is no more being tracked. Do you notice the difference? Just before it was showing about untracked file 2, but it was no more bothered about file 2. It was just talking about git ignore. Because after all, .git ignore is also a file, but which git can understand. So you have to add and commit this also like any other file. Git add .git ignore and commit the changes. Git commit -m ignore file created. Ignore file is created in this commit. Am I making sense, everyone? Now do ls file 2 is still there. If you want to see .git ignore, check the hidden files with -a option. Yes, .git ignore is there. Do you see that? And if you see git ls files, yes, git ignore will be there, file 3 will be there, file 2 is not there, but still git is not bothered about file 2. So any files, if you don't want to track them, if you don't want to version control, you can use git ignore, because any files in this directory will be version control because it's a local repository. you have to tell Git which files it should not version control. Okay. So now, yeah, where do we use this one? Yeah, in our projects like Terraform projects or in Ansible projects, there might be some files where you keep sensitive data like passwords, credentials. You don't want to place it on GitHub repositories, right? You don't want to share it with others. Credential confidential information like credentials need not be version controlled. And another thing is there might be some executable files generated, right, in your Terraform. I'll show you, we'll be using this git ignore in our Terraform projects. Okay, we are going to implement, we are learning the concepts of Git and we'll be implementing them, right? Any questions here? We'll implement all these Git concepts like version controlling, okay, ignoring and all. Any questions in this part?
Ma'am, we still didn't learn about the push and pull commands, right, yet?
No, we didn't yet. We didn't go to remote yet. Yesterday I told you we were still on this local. Okay, we didn't go to
Okay.
remote it. We have to learn many things before we go to that part.
Okay. But yesterday after the class, when I was practicing these commands, while committing the, this git commit, it was showing something like, to create user ID or password or something like that. I didn't understand that.
Okay, I'll tell you. See, whenever, if you are committing for the first time, right, when you are committing like for the first time, and if it is new system, means if you have installed it for the first time, it will ask you, see, whenever it's committing, it needs some ID to track, right, means some name and some email ID. Is that you're talking about, Shrikant? Git commit config global
Yes.
user, it will show that kind of message. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, madam. I had to face same issue, madam.
Yeah, that's not a problem actually. Okay, that's because, like I said, you have installed Git for the first time in your system. And if you see here, let me show you. Yeah, whenever you are committing, see, it needs some author name and email ID. So it will be asking for those details for the first time. Because I have given some dummy details, it was showing you us that way. Okay, so what you can do, it is showing you some commands, right? It will show you like git commit config global user. You
Yeah.
can copy and
Yes.
run the same command by placing your email ID and some username. Any dummy email ID will also do. So that Git will, from next time onwards, it will not ask you, it will use those to commit.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Got it?
I'll try that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's not asking for me, because I have used it multiple times. I have already added those dummy names. It will not ask me. Only for the first time it will prompt for those. Understood the concept of git ignore, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Kriti.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, I have a doubt with the Taran.
With
So once we create a new, hello,
yeah,
am I
louder
audible, Kriti?
please. Louder please. Have a
Yeah,
question.
yeah, yeah. So the concept of git rm, right? So once you create a file and let git aware of this file, and you do git rm, so it's that the file has been removed from git, and so this is being tracked again, right?
Mm.
So how to restore this? I mean, how to just get back and let it take care of all these things again?
We'll look
No,
into
so
those also. You mean reverting the changes, right?
yeah, so we just moved from untracked to tracked, and we did Git RM, right?
Mm. Git
So
RM, you are saying Git RM.
so Git no longer, yeah, Git RM, yes.
Mm. Mm.
So Git no longer knows this file.
Mm. Mm. See, git rm means it is deleted both from local repository and working directory. So it will not track. Anyway, the file is deleted completely. But here when rm cache, what it is doing, it is deleting from local but not from the working directory. Got the difference between
Okay.
RM
Okay.
and RM cache? See here, git RM. Okay, what it will do? It will delete both from working directory and also local repository. Okay, so when you do next time, of course, you will commit then. Okay, then if you do git status, yes, because the file is not there in working directory, it will not bother. A file is not at all there. But the problem comes when you do git rm cache. Git rm cache will delete only from local repository, but it is still there in working that I'm writing it so that you can just recollect the things better. You can go through the line. Deleted only from local, but it is still there in working directory. Means when you do status, what it will say, it because it is deleted from local, it's still present only in the working directory. It will show like untracked file. It's present in working directory.
Sure.
Understood? So it will keep on showing you. You have to add and commit
Yeah.
again. But I don't want, so we used Git.
Hmm.
Understood?
Got it. Got it.
Madam, one small clarification on this one. So if I'm having 2, 3 files and I want only one file to commit, means I need to give the file name, or just a commit will
Okay.
be helpful.
I understood. See, till now we are running this command, right? Minus m some message. This commit command will commit whatever in the staging area. Suppose in the staging area there are 10 files. All of them will be committed. But let's say I just want to commit only one file. Git commit that file name minus m again. So only that file will be committed.
Okay, ma'am. It means the file one alone will be get committed, or that will be exempt.
Only file one. But with the
Okay.
above command, everything, whatever in the staging area will be committed with this. But with this one, file one, which is present in the staging area, will only be committed. First of all, it should be present in staging area. Otherwise, you cannot commit, right? First of all, we need to put them in staging to commit. So if file one is in staging, yes, you can run this and commit that particular file. Right?
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah. And one more thing is we are adding this way, git file 1.txt. If you want to add multiple files, git add dot. Dot means everything will be committed. Will be added to staging area. Any more questions? Till git.
Ma'am, what if there are 3 files and if I want to add 2 files and I don't want to write 2 commands like add file 1, file 2. I want to write it in one line.
You
Just
can
add it to the
git add file 1
okay.
space git the other file.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
Any more questions? So till git ignore, everything is clear, right? If you still have a questions, let me know, or else you can also post it in the group when you are doing hands-on. So, okay. Now that we understood git ignore as well, let's go to the next concept. Like some of you are asking, you want to revert the changes, you want to get back the file if you deleted, right? So let's talk about them now. Yeah. Before that, just let me check my commit history. Okay, see, I have a bunch of commits by now. Okay, right. So now let's say I have made a bunch of commits. I want to undo a particular commit. What is meant by undo? What is the dictionary meaning for undo? Anyone? What is meant by undo?
Like
Bringing
revert.
back to original.
Undo means reversing, isn't it? Means let's say, okay, you have created a file. Undoing that means the file will be deleted, right? Or else let's say you have deleted a file. Undoing means it will be created back. Am I correct? Yeah, this is what is the meaning of undo. Similarly, any commit in this commit history can be undo, can be reversed. Means suppose in so and so commit ID I have created a file. You can undo, right? You can just reverse those changes, right? So means suppose in this commit I have created a file. You can revert it so that the file will be deleted. Okay, so let us do this. Git revert commit ID. Okay, I am undoing this one. Okay, git revert the commit ID. So what it will do, let's see. In this commit I have created ignore file. So what happens if I undo that? What happens if I undo this particular commit?
So ignore file will be like removed from the repository.
Yeah, ignore file will be deleted. If ignore file is deleted, what happens? What is the consequence?
Then the untracked file will be.
Yeah, tell me please. File 2 will be tracked again, isn't it? So let's see this magic. See, please everyone unmute and speak out. Okay, in the interviews also you have to speak out. You can just speak out, explain your thoughts. Okay, that's how we can learn better. Git revert, this one. See, revert works just like a commit. When you commit, it will ask some commit message. You have to, and also commit ID will be generated, right? Same thing happens here. It opened a file, just commit here. See, just edit this file like in a Vim editor it has opened. Let's say changes reverted, something like that. Reverted. See, don't worry about this Vim editor. I'll show you alternative also. Escape : WQ exclamatory. So done. See, it says removing .git ignore, changes reverted. So what happens when you revert? First thing is, I told you revert is like a commit. See, it has generated a new commit ID with the message I have given. Okay, fine. Then what happened to the files? Git status. Do you see file 2 is getting ignored, getting tracked again because, see, no more .git ignore. Got the concept, everyone? Yeah? So let
Yes.
me put it this way. See, there is some commit ID called A. A means just commit ID. I cannot write all the alphanumeric, so I'm considering it as A. Now I have reverted. Commit B is generated. Okay, commit B is generated. So again I can revert this. Means if any commit ID can be generated. This 3D85 I can revert again. What happens if I revert again? Yes, revert the revert ID or commit ID, whatever you call it. Another commit ID will be generated here. Okay. Means, see, let's say here in commit ID, created ignore file. Okay, you reverted it. So deleted git ignore file. Now again revert the revert, file will be back. Am I correct? Understood the logic, simple logic. Yeah. So you can revert the reverted things again. Let me show you. See, now whenever you revert, this commit ID is generated. So I want to revert it. So what I'll do, copy this ID. Now git revert that commit ID. Okay, git revert that. So see, again, let's say I just want to put reverted again. Okay, save it. Now just see the log first. Another commit ID will be generated. Obviously, see 35C was created when I revert this, and also do git status. File 2 is no more tracked. Why? Because see .git ignore is back. This one, see commit A is there where I created ignore. Reverted. Commit B is generated where ignore file is deleted. Again reverted. Okay, the file is created back, which is commits. Understood the concept of revert, everyone? Any questions or should I repeat anything?
No, you can continue, Preeti.
Okay, Sai says I'm not hearing anything. I tried connecting as well, but still same issue. If this is the case, first try to rejoin. Rejoin will sort out the issues most of the times, or else check your audio connection. Right. So now, yeah, we were working with the files. Now we have got a couple of files, including .git ignore. You may use Vim editor, or else if you are not comfortable with Vim editor, okay, there is also another editor which can help you to edit your files. Okay, there comes another new editor called Visual Studio Code. This is very widely used in the projects. Companies are also looking for experience on this editor. Let me show you. Just go to Google, and here, yeah, you can type in download VS Code for Windows or whatever it is. Okay, see, you will be taken to the official website code.visualstudio.com. It's an editor. Editor means which will help you edit your files. Those files could be some program files, configuration files, script files. Different file formats are supported here. Okay, different file formats are separated here, meaning you can work with any kind of language, any kind of files here. Okay, so just give me 1 second, please. Give me 1 second. Yeah, just go to the official document. This is the editor which is very widely used in the market right now. Okay, so let's go with it. Yeah, either it is Windows or Mac, you can go with it. Depending on your operating system, whether it is Windows or a Mac or a Linux, you can go with it. Okay, mine is Windows, so you can just go and download that zip file. Okay, and extract it. That's all, as simple as that. Even that is there. The installation steps of this are there in the drive. It's very simple. Download the exe, a zip file. I mean, download this. A zip file will be installed. Extract it. That's all, and you can double click and open it. That's it. Okay, so use this editor. See here, once it is installed, you will see this icon. Double click and open it. This is very widely used. Trust me, in interviews, people, whenever they are interviewing and whenever they are asking to write some configuration files, they were asking to use this editor so that they see your experience on using this editor. It's very simple. Everyone, anyone can use it, developers or testers or DevOps teams. I do use this personally for our projects. So this is your editor. Okay, from here you can open your Git project. Okay, just go to file, open the folder. Okay, ours is on the desktop, right? So just go to desktop. It's a Git demo, right? So select the folder. So all the files will be open. You can see the complete folder here. Instead of editing with a text like notepad, or instead of editing with the VI editor, you can use this way. Okay, VI editor is also important. I'll teach you slowly. You can learn it slowly, but till then use this one. Okay, see, whatever files are there, everything is shown here, right? File 2, okay, file 3, you can see all the files, all the content here. Yeah, file 3, haven't we added anything? Okay, so this is how you can see. And git ignore, yeah, the file name you should see. It's loading slowly. Okay, file 2 is here, right? So yeah, now you can use git bash again to modify. Also, you can also use git bash from this editor. Go to the terminal. Here you can see the new terminal. Open it. Okay, here you can see the output, everything. We don't have any output, but just go to the terminal. And yeah, you can use command line, like in Windows we just use a normal command line. That one you can use, or else PowerShell you can use. You have all of them. Whatever installed on your system will be shown. Normal command prompt or a git bash or a PowerShell. Let's do git bash. The same git bash window you can see. Do you see that? Like however you are seeing this, whether it is a normal command line or a PowerShell or a git bash, commands are same, right? You can also just navigate and work on here. Isn't it very simple? See here, git log, right? Or else you can do the complete commit history. You can see here. So try using this editor. Okay, it's very simple and very much easy. It makes like as we go by, we'll be creating config files. This is the best one to work with. So that's about revert command. Let me differentiate reset and revert first. Okay. Yeah. How can we differentiate this? Git revert and git commit. I said reset. I'm sorry. Commit. See, revert and commit both will generate some commit ID. Okay, both will generate some commit ID, both will take some message. That's how they are similar. Reverting means you revert some commit ID. Okay, commit means you commit the changes whatever you make. That's a difference, but both works almost similar. Like every revert or every commit command will generate a new commit ID, and where you need to provide some message as an input. Okay, so yeah, now let us take up another interesting part called reset. What is this reset? Let's see. See, whenever you see your commit history, you may see a huge log, huge number of commits. Suppose, okay, this is, see, remember, we are still in our local repository. We didn't go to remote yet. Now, I'm seeing a bunch of commits. Let's suppose I realize that, okay, I don't need these 5 commits, successive 5 commits or successive 4 commits, because I don't want them anymore. Client requirement completely changed. So you may revert, but if I revert, it will maintain the log. I just want to remove them from the log history also, because see, when I don't need these changes, I don't want this bunch of commits. Means I don't want this bunch of commits means I don't want any changes happen these commits, as well as I don't want this in the log also. I don't want to maintain them in the log. So what to do now? Yeah, git log git reset. Okay, hard successive commit IDs only can be reset. Let's say successive 2 or else successive 3 commit IDs I don't want, or else let's say 4 commit IDs, whatever. Okay, let's say successive 3. So whenever you remove these 3, what happens? This will be your topmost commit, right? So topmost commit means there are something like pointers in Git. One such pointer is called head. Head will be always pointing the topmost commit. Right now, head is pointing to this. But if I reset, head will point to this. Means you are changing the head pointer. You are resetting it. Okay, so git reset hard. I just want this to be the topmost commit. So put that commit ID whichever you want to be the topmost. Git reset hard. Now see, head is now changed to this. Check the log. Do you see that? This became the topmost. What about the previous top? How many are there? 3. Gone. Gone means completely gone. There, those changes, whatever happened there were gone. Also, they are removed from log history. They are completely wiped off. Permanent. That's a permanent scenario. You cannot get them back. So what is the difference between reset and revert? Can anyone find got any difference between revert and reset? These are the confusing terms, like from the point of interview as well. Whenever there's a question regarding their differences, people just get confused over this. So what is the difference?
Revert will, like as you said, like it will revert whatever you have committed, and the reset will point the head to like remove all the commits that we want to, like basically change the head to the one that you want.
Yeah. See, in revert, whatever changes gone can be, you can retrieve them back, because when you revert the revert, you get the changes back. You can get the changes back. But in reset, changes gone are gone forever. You could not get them back. Right? Also, that's one difference. Second difference is any random commit ID can be reverted. But reset, only successive commit IDs, either successive means topmost, latest, topmost commit IDs like 5 commits, 6 commits, 2 commits, successive top 2 commits can be reset. Right? And because reset, when you do reset, you cannot get those changes back, gone or gone forever. It is also called as destructive command. Very powerful and destructive. Just don't use it as a regular command. It should be used only when required, if you really need it. Otherwise, if you reset means all your changes will be gone. That's all, you are lost. Right? So be very careful when you do reset. It's very rarely used because of these reasons. Destructive command, very powerful command. Right? Let me show you another type of reset. Okay, I have resetted with a git reset. Oh, sorry. Git reset hard. You give the commit ID, or else you can also say, okay, top 2. How do you tell that? Head tilde 2. That's another way. You say top 2, or else you just put the commit ID, whichever will become the topmost. Or else you say, yeah, head tilde 2. Both are same. And earlier I have shown you with commit ID, now with the head tilde 2. See, this became the topmost. Or else you could have used just simply the commit ID. Anything is fine. Right? This is how reset works. I just want to reset everything. Git log, git reset hard, yeah, head tilde. I just want only 2 commits, so 3. 3 means top 3 will be discarded. Discarded means all the changes in those files will be discarded, as well as those commits will also be removed from the log. Right? So
Revert, right? Reset.
yes,
You have to put git revert, right?
git reset.
Okay. You told I will revert all the changes. That's why.
Oh, I said git revert. Sorry, I said I want to reset. I just want to reset all of them. Right? So 2 of them. See, what are the differences between revert and reset? In revert, you can get the changes back. In reset, your changes gone or gone forever. You can take up any commit ID and do revert, but in reset, only successive commit. Another most important difference is that every revert will generate a commit ID. Using that commit ID, because it generates a commit ID, you can revert that commit ID again and get the changes back. But in reset, it will not generate a commit ID. No commit ID. I'm having some problem with the keyboard. Sorry about it. So no commit ID. No commit ID will be generated here. Understood the 3 differences between reset and revert? Because it doesn't generate any commit ID, any new commit ID whenever you reset, you don't get the changes back. If you have a commit ID generated for this particular command, you may revert it again and get it. Got my point, everyone, or any confusions? Anyone confused? Viru, Partha, everyone, Akhil.
No, ma'am, it's clear.
So that is about reset, revert. These are all the advanced concepts which you should understand. Can I take up another advanced step? Shall I move ahead? or anything should I repeat before I go?
You can move ahead, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah. So till now we were talking about reset, right? Like I said, it's a very rarely used, and should be used very carefully. If you are new to this, better don't use it in the projects, right? Those are some of the warnings you have with the reset. And there are also again different types of resets. Like I have used hard reset. Okay. You also have mixed reset. You also have soft reset. But we don't use to that extent. Maybe developers, when they rigorously use the files, they may be using. Let me show you one more thing. After reset, it's all clean. Okay, but there are different types of resets. Like I said, you don't need them, but shall I give you a brief of them so that you get an idea of it? Generally people get confused over this concept. Okay, so just let me give you in a simple manner, so at a later point of time if you come across them, that may be helping you. Yeah, just let me show you the other types. This chart will simplify the learning. This is the chart I made to easily understand this concept. Let me show you. This is working directory, staging area, local repository. So instead of hard, you have to use mixed or soft. That's also. What is this actually? 1 minute. I'll take up the questions. Okay, in the questions panel in few minutes. Please concentrate here. So hard, soft, and mixed reset. So what is a hard reset? Hard reset means changes will be gone from everywhere. It will be deleted from the working directory, staging area, as well as local repos. So you cannot get the changes back. Then what is soft reset? Soft reset means your changes will be gone from local repository. So in the soft reset, your changes will be still here. Okay, how do I write this? Yes, your changes are present in here, right? Your changes are present in the working. So you can get them back. If the changes are in staging area, if you want to get them back in local repository, what should you do? How to get the changes back to local repository from staging area?
Just commit.
That's all. Commit so that you get your changes back. Fine. Soft reset is not destructive. Okay. Then what about mixed reset? Mixed reset is whenever you do mixed reset, your changes are gone from staging area, also from local, but your changes are still here, right? So if your changes are in working directory, how can you get the changes back? How
Just
do you get?
add and commit.
That's all. Add and
Adding the
yes, add and commit so that you get your changes. That's all, as simple as that. But because the learning, when you learn the official documentation, when you learn from official documentation, it may be a bit confusing. This chart will help you understand this concept very easily. So no confusions over this advanced concept. I believe you all understood now, right? Difference between hard, soft, mixed. So you may do soft reset or mixed reset. Let me ask you one more question. If you do hard reset, then after that, if you run git status, what would be the message of git status when you do hard reset? Just now we did that.
It will show the head is pointing at some place.
It will show the repository is clean, right? How about soft?
It will show unstaged or something.
Changes to be committed, right? Correct, unstaged. So it will show you like changes to be committed, isn't it? Because it's staging area to be committed. So what it will show here?
Untracked.
Yes. Untracked, because it's like a new file, you have to add to staging and then commit, right? So you need to have this much of clarity when you run this command. What will be the git status showing, like, okay, where are your changes when you run a particular command, whether the changes are in working directory or staging area or local repository. Here I am going to the in depth of the concept, what happens when you run the command. Okay, don't feel it like a complex. I'm showing you the whole thing, what happens to the end, so that you understand the basics thoroughly. You can work on the things easily. Only thing is you need to put more effort and practice it. So that's about different types of resets. If you come across any questions during the interview, keep this chart in your mind. That's all. That chart explains everything. That is about revert and reset, but generally we don't use reset. Okay, generally we use revert. That's it. Maybe, but very rarely in your local repos you have some certain bunch of comments, you don't want to track them. In that case, you may go for it. Okay, there are some questions in the questions window. Let me take them. Teja's question is, can we use git revert head 3? No, Teja, you have to use git revert commit ID. Only one commit ID at a time, not commit ID 1, 2, 3. No. Git revert commit ID, only one commit ID each time. At once, only one commit ID. Understood? So that's about reset and revert. So now, till now, what are all the things we have learned? We have learned about like architecture, working directory, importance of staging area, local repository. We have discussed about the git diff commands, right? We have discussed about how to work with modifications to a file. And then today we have discussed about the git ignore. Ignore is very important concept. Yeah, dot git ignore file creation we have discussed. We have discussed about reverting the changes. We have discussed about resetting the changes, right? So these are all the things we have gone through, right? So now let's go to another interesting and another very important concept in Git called branching. Branching feature is a robust feature in Git. Means Git is very strong in this branching feature, and that's why it was used very widely in the market, right? This branching is very helpful in reality. So let us try to understand this concept. So what is this branching? What are branches in Git? I'll try to explain this in a simple way. Just come here and run the command git status. Till now we were bothering about this message, but we didn't discuss anything about this, right? See, on branch master, here also it's showing you are on branch master. What is this master branch? See, whenever you create a local repository, a branch is created by default. That branch name is called master branch. Okay, this is called the master branch, right? So this branch is like used created by default. Okay, and till now whatever changes you make, till now whatever files you create, everything is said to be on the master branch. But how do you actually can relate to it? See, you can understand this branch like a virtual directory in your local repository. Imagine it's like a virtual folder. Okay, this branch name is by default the master branch in the local repository. Whatever changes you make, file 1, file 2, file 100, everything goes into master. So it's a perfect, right? It's all good. We are working what now? Let me tell you a scenario. Suppose you are working on some functional requirement 1. Client has got some functional requirement 1. You are working on it. You are working on file 1 and file 2 for this requirement. Okay, by mistake I wrote file 1 again, file 2. Right? Fine, perfect. I'm making changes to both the files. Now client came with another requirement 2. This requirement also should be, need modifications on the same files, file 1 and file 2. Okay, I'll just modify them. I'll do the changes here only. But a later point of time, let's say after 1 month, okay, it becomes very difficult for me to identify which lines are to be, or else which changes are for requirement 1, which changes are for requirement 2. Correct? Am I making sense? It becomes very difficult. Which changes are related to requirement 1, which changes are related to requirement 2. Correct? So how to differentiate that? So that's one problem. Another problem is there are multiple reasons. One is I cannot identify or I cannot differentiate the changes. Okay. Second thing is maybe requirement 1 is for this August release. Yeah, is for August release, and requirement 2 is for, let's say, November release. How do I release? How do I push them separately? Right? So these are the difficulties. Of course, many other reasons are there. We'll discuss one by one. So what I can do is, rather than placing everything on master branch, why not I create a copy of this master branch? Okay, let's name it as some B1 branch or whatever it is. Okay, and and place my changes here for requirement 2. Let's say requirement 2 changes goes here. So that yes, I can push to remote separately. Master branch will be for August. Maybe in November I'll push this branch. Branch is like a copy of the master. You can imagine it's like another virtual directory, right? So what it does, it allows parallel development. You may develop requirement on master 1, requirement 2 on master 2. Parallel development is possible. That's a first advantage. Parallel development. Okay, maybe if you want to maintain for different releases, or else if you want to maintain different versions, again you can maintain branches, or else you want to allocate each branch to a task to a separate developer. Yes, you can do that. Also, you can maintain separate branch for each environment. All of them are possible with this concept of branching. Right? Let me tell you few more things. So if you are working in master branch, those changes are confined only for master. Only when you create a copy, they are same. Means I just copied from master and created B1, they are same. Next time onwards, whatever changes you make on master branch, okay, if you are making here, they are not visible to B1. Similarly, whatever changes you make here are not visible to master. They work like two different separate entities. Parallelly, you can develop in any folder and move to remote. Generally, we may create a branching like for all these purposes. Also, there are something else like maybe you want to do some bug fixing very quickly. So rather than messing up the current branch, you may create a separate branch for branching and push them to remote. Right? So that is another reason. If you still have confusion, let me just put it again in a simple way. Let's talk about in terms of a layman. Let's say we are completely new, we don't know anything here. Okay, so let's take this folder. New folder 3 is that. Imagine this is the master branch. Okay, let's say, okay, I'm developing some story, I'm writing some story in this folder. Okay, I'm writing the story, I want to give a good climax. But I have got two climaxes in my mind. Let's create a copy of this folder. My system is damn slow for copying also, it's taking time. Okay. Copy. Okay. Okay, see, it's a copy of it. Let's say this is a master branch. Rename. Okay, and this is B1. I'm not renaming. Okay, it's very slow. Okay, so this is master. I made a copy of it. So now I give a climax 1 here, climax 2 here. So both are two separate entities. If I make any changes in master, can I see them from this B1 branch? I mean B1 folder, can I see them? Can
No,
I?
ma'am.
No, right? It's just a separate folder. It is same. It's a copy of it till only when you make a copy of it. Later on, it just works like two parallel entities. Whatever changes I make here is not visible to this and vice versa. So what happens? Yeah, this is one version of my story. This is second version of my story. I may publish both of them, or else whichever is good, I may use it, right? So branching also same. I am developing another version of it. Okay, I may push both of them to remote, or else if later on I found this is not reliable, I may delete it. You may use branch for a permanent purpose, like to maintain releases, versions, environments, or else you can also use branch as a draft. Means I don't want to mess up the original one. Generally, master branch is dedicated for production. We don't do anything there. Okay, we make a branch out, work on the branches. If it is working fine, then I'll bring these changes here. Maybe, okay, the copy is fine than the original. I may just bring those changes into original one. Making sense, everyone? Different cases. Maybe two versions can be maintained, or else if version 2 only is improvised and I want this one rather than version 1, I may bring them to the original. Like I may use it like a draft. And later on delete that temporary branch. Following all of you, each and every one, I want response from every one of you. If you don't respond, I
Yes,
have to
ma'am.
call your names. If you are in the class, please be attentive. Take a half a second of your time and do respond. So that I know you are all following. I want all of my students to follow thoroughly. I don't want someone to be in confusion, someone lost behind. Okay, thanks for everyone who have confirmed. So yeah, that's a concept of branching. It would be really interesting. You may be wondering, like, how do we work, or like what are the commands, how do we work with them? Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's see. So let's first check out what files we have. Okay, 2 files. Let me also check the log once. Okay, I have 2 commits, two files, 2 commits, and git status says okay, it's all clean. Okay, perfect. Now I want to create a copy of this master branch, right? So that I may be working on some other requirement there. So when I create a branch, 2 files, 2 commits, everything will be copied to the new branch. So how do you create a branch? By the way, how do you know on which branch on you? You may see here, or else in the status command you may see here. See, don't worry, you can run the same from here also. Anything you may use. To list all the branches, git branch. See, only one branch, master branch. Now I would like to create a branch. So what is the command? Git branch, the new branch name, let's say B1, and the parent branch. That's a syntax. Git branch, child branch name, and the parent branch from which it is created. So now see again the branch list. See now B1 and master. Star, asterisk symbol. Do you see the star symbol, asterisk symbol? Asterisk symbol indicates on which branch you are on. I am on master branch, right? But I want to switch to this B1. I want to go to B1. How do you go? You can check this way on which branch you are on, or else you can see on the prompt here, or else when you run status command also, it will show you are still on master. Now let's go to B1. How do you switch? Git checkout
Git checkout
B1. See, switch it to B1. Do you see the prompt? Prompt got changed. Second confirmation is this way, second way of confirming. See, you are on B1, star is on B1. Other way is by running status. See, on branch B1. Okay, fine, I am on B1. Now, whatever commands you run, whatever you do here will be applicable on B1. See, ls. Those are files on B1. Git log of B1. Okay, or else you can also check log by giving the branch name B1. But because you are on B1 without branch name also, it will give you log of B1 only. But if you want to check out the log of any other branch, give that branch name. So commits are copied, files are copied, everything is copied and made a new branch. Quite interesting, isn't it? You can do miracles with this branching concept. There are a lot many things. We'll do one after the other. Shall we create some file on B1? Yeah? Shall we proceed?
Yeah.
So yeah, let's create some files on B1. So you may create using Vim editor or GUI, anything. Because I have an editor, I am creating. Here also it will show B1 things only. So let's go for new file. Let's say file3.txt. Okay, here I would like to put, okay, new file. Do you see U symbol? U means untracked. Save it. That is the advantage of using editor. It can show you here. Git status, see untracked file. So the story is same whether you do it in master branch or whether you do it on any other branch, the same story. So what should I do? Can anyone help me with the commands?
Git add.
Git add.
Git add file name. File thing.
Exactly.
Git add dot.
Huh?
Git add dot.
Yeah, git add dot also you can do, or file name also you can do. Dot means here everything means only you have one file. You can do that also. So now git add
Hmm.
and git commit.
Hmm.
Git
Git
commit.
status.
Commit status. Okay,
Right.
status. Okay, changes to be committed. See, from you the symbol got A, right? A means index added. Do you see when you keep the cursor it says index added? Means it is added
Git
to
add.
staging
Hmm.
area. Okay, now commit.
Right. Git commit M.
-m. Let's say file created on B1.
Enter. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, nothing. I thought you stuck. Git status.
Git status. Okay, on branch
Git push.
B1. Right, everything it says it is committed. Now check the files. Yes, 3 files, and also check the log of B1. Don't give branch name means it shows the branch of the log of the current branch. So third commit. Now I'll ask you one thing. Is this third file available on master branch?
No.
Is this third commit
No,
available on master branch?
No, ma'am.
Local repository.
no.
It's in B1.
Not there on the master branch, right? It's there in the B1 branch of the local.
B1, yeah.
Right. So let us go to master. How to switch the branch?
Git checkout
Git
master.
checkout, yeah.
Git checkout master. So yeah, do you see here file 3 is gone? It will show you the files of the current branch you are on, right? So yes, on
Yes.
master branch, you can visualize this way also from the command line, only 2 files.
When we merge, then only we can get the copy of that file, right?
Yep. Git log one line B1. See? Do you see that? So let's say there are some multiple requirements. So I just made the changes on B1. I don't want to mess up the master. Okay, B1 changes are good. They are working fine. Now I want to bring those changes to master. How to get changes from B1 to master? Isn't it? I told you, right?
Git.
B1 may be like a draft. Once it is doing good, you may bring those changes to the master branch and integrate them. What is this called as? Integrating changes from one branch to another. This is called as merging. Merging means integrating changes from one branch to other. How to do
Another
that?
branch. Git merge B1.
The syntax is git merge source branch and the destination branch. What is meant by source? Like in a journey, what is the source? Source is from where you are starting. Destination is where you have to reach, right? Same case. Source means from which branch you want to bring the changes. From which branch I want to bring the changes?
Uh,
B1.
From B1.
from
Into which branch?
B1, yeah.
Into which
Into
branch?
master.
So destination branch is master. So git merge B1 master. So yes.
If you are already in a destination branch,
Yes, we
no
are
need to
already.
mention.
Yeah, no need to mention. But some of the versions of Git ask for destination also. So better you give destination name.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So now if you see,
Yeah.
yes, 3 files. Here also you can see in the Explorer, right? So 3 files here. Also the commit would be there. Git log, one line of master. Git log, one line of B1 also. You have the same commit. Now, yes, it is merged. This is called a fast forward merge or else a smooth merge, a simple merge, because you didn't get a conflict. There are also other types of mergers where you get a conflict, other scenarios. Okay, those are some other advanced scenarios. We shall take up those scenarios of conflicts in the next class. Any questions in this part?
Priti, I have one query. Git log one line we are giving the command, right? Is this just for fetching the log ID details or else
Commit IDs details. Commit.
commit ID details? Only for that. Only that purpose we are using that command, right?
Yeah, it will show you the complete commit history. Whatever commits happened in that branch, all the commit history will be shown with a log. One line is brief. Brief means simple log. Instead of complete detailed log with a timestamp, simple log.
Okay.
Git log without one line flag will show you detailed history like timestamps, everything. Yesterday we have seen those commands, right?
Yes. Yes.
See, simply git log. Okay, like this it will show complete ID, everything. But simple log will with one line means, as the name says, one line history. So this is about the today's class. Definitely do the hands-on. Okay, day by day we are progressing into the advanced and in-depth concepts. If you do hands-on, you will enjoy the session. You will learn thoroughly. So make sure to do the hands-on, and we'll take up from here in tomorrow's class. See, regarding timing adjustments, yes, I will do the timing adjustments to 7:30, half an hour before or 1 hour before. Okay, I'll confirm that if I make any change. Definitely will make the change. Maybe from tomorrow or from Monday, I'll confirm you. Okay. So until then, kindly cooperate. Okay, there are some questions from
Weekend classes will
Teja.
be there.
Tell me please, Viru.
Weekend classes will be there.
No weekend classes. From Monday to Friday, we'll have a session. Weekend you can practice. You can do hands-on.
Okay.
Okay, at your own time, you can do hands-on. Okay, there is some question called git add dot adds all the tracked and untracked files in staging area. Git add dot will add all the changes in the working directory. It may be untracked, or else it may be like only modifications might be a new file, it might be, or else it might be already a file in staging area, local repository, but it might be having some modifications, right? Everything will be added. Got it, Teja? And if yes, how to add all the tracked files to staging at once? Git add dot will add all the untracked changes, unstaged changes also. And another question is, can we perform the git merge irrespective of your current branch? Say you are on B1, can we merge B1 to master? Like Teja, like I said, some of the git versions accept it and allow it. Like maybe on Linux or Windows, it differs. Some of the versions on Linux, it allows, but some of the versions it doesn't. So to make sure we are merging correctly, better we go to destination branch. That's the best method. But yeah, it works in some versions of the Git and on Linux operating systems. So because it depends on the operating system and the environment, better we provide both source branch name and destination branch name.
Ma'am,
Hope I answered your
we'll
question.
use this.
Yeah, tell me.
So we use git add dot to add all the files right at once. Just like that, can't we commit all the files at once by using one command,
That's
or
what
do we
is,
need to do individually?
no, that's what is a git commit, right? Git commit -m means whatever in the staging area will be committed.
Okay.
See, here we were using till now git commit. That is committing everything, because here we have only one file. You are thinking like you may visualize only one file, but git commit -m will commit whatever in the staging area.
Okay, only if we give like file name before -m,
Then
so
only
the
that
individual.
file will be committed.
Okay, yeah, clear now. Thank
Otherwise, it will commit whatever in the staging area. It may be one file, two files, whatever it is.
you. Okay, yeah.
Any more questions? Anything else from anyone? And by the way, tomorrow password will be changed. Okay, I'll add everyone to the group, and password will be posted in the WhatsApp group, whoever registered. Okay. So,
Okay, yeah, sure.
huh? A question
Okay,
from
Preeti.
Partha. Git have any GUI? Yes, Git has got GUI. Okay, without writing these commands like this, Git has also got GUI. But if you learn GUI, you will never learn CLI. If you never learn CUI, you cannot understand the concepts thoroughly. Only once you write the commands, once you run the commands, you understand the Git concepts. GUI has got the drag and drop options. If you do that, you don't understand what happens at the backend. And if you are in some projects, there will be only CLI. Majority of the projects uses CLI. So if you are into project, will be lost. So better learn CLI. If you learn CLI of any tool, if the tool supports GUI, you can easily switch to GUI. Okay. So no need to learn GUI separately, but CLI should be learned mandatorily for any tool. Okay, another question from Teja. Can we switch between version control systems, like migrating some source code from ClearCase to Git or vice versa? Is it complex to do it? You can do it, Teja. Code can be migrated from one version control system to the other. It's not a complex. You have additional plugins, you have commands to do it. So, all right, then that's all from my end for today. Have a great day. Thank you all for joining. See you all tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.